Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. I'm Rupesh Kote. I'm pursuing my PhD in the Department of Comparative Literature and India Studies from the English and Foreign Languages University, Hyderabad. So, as part of demo to MS Ramaya Institute, I've opted to narrate or explain short story written by O.Henry, and the title of the short story is The Last Leaf. You can see so many leaves around me, and it's a lush green behind. I've deliberately chosen this, atmosphere, this place to narrate this story because it gives us that feel, about the leaf. But it's completely contrary to what you see. The story is completely different from what we are seeing now. This is full green, but then uh, there are leaves withering in the short story. So before listening to short story, I would like to say that most of us, all of us, some or the other way are familiar with telling stories. There's no one who doesn't know how to narrate a story. There is no one who's not interested to listen a story. Storytelling and story listening is part and parcel of our life. Irrespective of our age. Most of us remember that when we were children, we were listening to stories narrated by our parents as well as our grandparents, of course. Thanks to our grandparents, those days we have joint families, but today um, we do not have grandparents to tell these stories. Most of the stories that we rely on are stories from the internet or stories from the YouTube. That's altogether different thing. But then, if we get into um, our short story for today, written by O.Henry, The Last Leaf. Before listening to the short story, I would like to give a brief introduction about the author, about the historical background, about the context in what it was written, and also other short stories or the related literature of O.Henry, as well as the plot summary and the character analysis. Let us also do, and also let us look into the themes of the story. Few themes. There are so many themes that we can look into, but for time being, let's look into few themes. So let me talk about the author. The author O.Henry actually is not the actual name of O.Henry, but it is his pen name. Yeah, it is a pseudonym. Who is this O.Henry? Is an American short story writer, and The Last Leaf is one of his famous stories written in the year 1907. O.Henry is not a proper what do you call it? It's not just, he was only writing short stories, but apart from writing, he also did so many other works, like, he was a pharmacist once, he was a banker, he worked for bank, he was a journalist, he wrote for Houston Post, but then there was some issue in the bank. He was caught up in some case in the bank, and then he was put in jail. And during this time, when he was in the jail, he has written so many short stories and published them. So this I think is also one of the short stories where when it was written when he was in the jail. So he's married to a person, and she died of tuberculosis. I mean to say, why is wife dying of tuberculosis is significant with O.Henry is the context of the story is also somewhere interrelated to disease, interrelated to pain and suffering and hopelessness and hope. So there are so many things that we will be looking into. And let's come to the historical context. So, as I told you, this short story is written in 1907. 1907, when we look at New York, the setup of the story is in America. It's in New York, and it's in Greenwich Village. So what is the historical context? There were so many people from the Europe migrating to New York, especially when we look at this Greenwich village. There are so many artists who have been coming from different parts of the world and getting settled there. And the three main characters that we are going to look at in this short story, mainly John C., who's also called as Joanna, and Sue as well as Mr. Bergman, all the three are from different parts. John C. and Sue are from America. They're from, you know, uh, California and Miami, whereas Mr. Bergman, the real hero in the story, is actually from where he's from Europe. Okay, so these are immigrants, who have come from other parts of the